Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Living Our American Dream. It is deer season 2019 in Michigan. And today is, boy, I don't even remember, October 3rd, I think, 3rd or 4th. I haven't been out in the woods yet because it's been really raining here and I've been working, and it opened October 1st. And you can see I got my climbing stand on my back. I got my bow in my hand. We're gonna go do a little bit of hunting. This is by far my favorite time of year. This is the time of year when everything smells different in the woods. The leaves start to change. Sneaking through the woods, watching the birds and the critters and the wildlife get ready for winter. It's absolutely beautiful out here. Well, we're not very far into the woods, and this was my plan. There's a triple oak tree right here in front of the camera. That's where we're gonna set up our stand. And today, it's as much of a practice hunt as it is anything else. Just to make sure our equipment's good. We don't have any issues. We're gonna go right up this triple oak tree right here. So this is my setup. This is a Lone Wolf climbing stand. And I'll explain a little bit more when I get up in the stand, but basically 2-piece attached with some straps, wraps around the tree. You can see there's not chains. This is like some sort of polymer with cables running through it. It's very, very, very quiet, fairly lightweight. And I just have a string that I run right around here that I can drop down, kind of lay it on the ground and attach it to my bow. So when I go up in the tree, there's nothing left down here. There's no straps, there's no ladder, there's no, tree pegs. I'm in the tree. Everything's in the tree. So let's climb up there and then I'll show you the view. All right, we're up in the tree. I've got just a little bit of wind right now, and it's coming out of the northeast, which is kind of from my face, where I'm facing now, to the back. And I wanted to show you guys the setup here. So I think we're about probably between 25 and 30 feet in the tree, which is really too high. But I wanted to be able to see a lot today. I hate to say this, but I'm not really anticipating a whole lot of action. I'd like to see a few deer and just get an idea of kind of where they're going. But a little bit of information on my gear. So I shoot a Mathews Switchback. I'm not one of those guys that goes out and gets a brand new bow, every 2 years. This bow's treated me really well. It's only the 3rd bow I've ever had. This bow's treated me really well. I don't shoot it fast. I shoot about 260 feet a second, 265 maybe. I haven't chronoed it in a while. I shoot 100 grain head. I couldn't even tell you the length of my arrow anymore, I forget. I shoot 4-inch feathers through a whisker biscuit, as you can see. I am comfortable hunting, taking shots probably out to about 40 yards. Target practicing, I'll shoot out to 70. But for the most part, I try to keep my range reasonable because I don't like wounding animals. But here, that light you see right out here, that's the food plot that we came in by. And as I pan around here, you can see the trail on the bottom of the screen. he's in the white oak. I wanted to show you guys this area that I'm in has a bunch of really large white oak trees. I think there's a lot of good acorns here in this area. So maybe when the leaves go down and the frost hits, this is going to be a nice feeding area to come back and sit here. Guys, I just shot a nice one. I think he's an 8-point. I was sitting here editing a video for my YouTube channel. And I had the volume really low. And every now and then I just take a look around. And I'm watching that raccoon over to my right, and all of a sudden I heard something that wasn't him. And I looked. And I looked down into my left, and there was a damn deer right there. Man, he's 20 yards. And I seen white antlers, that's all I seen. And so I put my phone down and I grabbed my bow and I spun around. Let me turn the camera around and show you. I spun around, that deer was standing right here on this trail. And I spun around and he was standing, let me see, right there. By the time I had my bow and I came to full draw, he heard me just a little bit, and I'd say that maybe 20 yards. And I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but if you look down in the trail, right, oh, you can't see it in the video, but right over, where's my hand? Right over here, I got a Lumenok, and I seen that arrow. I seen that arrow go right through him, right behind his right shoulder. He was quartering away. The arrow passed through. He did a big circle, ran to the east, and then he turned to the north just a little bit. My brothers talked me in recently to trying out these 3-blade Spitfires. And we're gonna see how it did behind the shoulder of this deer. I'm pretty excited here. It's a little dark. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to see much. But I usually use a Muzzy, and my Muzzies have always treated me well. We're gonna see how this one did. Well, if this ain't the biggest disappointment, this is what I found. This did not expand. Guys, I am telling you, I put this arrow right behind the shoulder of that deer. Well, we got some blood. We're still looking for this thing. We've gone a couple hundred yards now. I don't know if you can hear me on the video, but I got an arrow knocked. I got my 2 brothers helping me. We're gonna see if we can't find this thing. Look, we got blood.
Hell yeah, look at them fucking G2.
They found him, boys.
Monster, buddy. Your toilet paper.
Just take care of this for you. Oh.
Try to cock block me from coming to help.
Let me just tell you something right now. Is that going still?
It's going.
Dude, I had zero confidence to find this deer after I seen that arrow. Absolutely zero confidence.
So let me just pause the video right now for a second. So the reason I said I had zero confidence in finding this deer is because I saw where the arrow hit, and I thought what I saw was the arrow and the Lumenok disappeared behind the shoulder of that deer. And it should have went right out, like I said, the opposite side, low in front of the other shoulder. Now what actually happened is the arrow went in exactly where I said it did, and it hit the opposite shoulder. So the pictures that you seen earlier in this video, that showed just a little bit of the arrow having blood on it. That's why. So the arrow went in, hit that shoulder, and when it came back out, those expandable heads recollapsed. I texted both my brothers. We always do a group text when we're hunting just to ask who's doing what. And I texted them and said, hey, I shot this deer. Go see how I did. And went and checked the arrow, and it didn't look worth a shit to me. And it's because it didn't pass through. We're gonna roll it over here in a minute and find out. But anyway, yeah,
Slightly higher
damn,
than
look at that
halfway
deer.
up and hit the other side shoulder.
Yep, there's no hole.
Hey, look at
Just
this.
like I thought.
It's got a
Same character.
same characteristic
Yeah.
as the 157. Big palmated G2 on
See
the
that?
right.
Turn that thing a little bit. I can't seem to get
wanna
the
see
light good
him?
on it. There you go. Yep.
He's been rubbing up on some shit. Look at that. So this is quite a bit bigger than I thought it was. I thought he was just an 8-point with a decent rack. That's probably a
11, 12.
11 or 12 inch
Yeah.
G2 on the
Look
left.
at the,
The other
mass
side's-
on that one on the right.
The other side's 10 and it's bladed.
Bladed brows. What a beautiful deer.
And I'm just gonna tell you one more time to both of you guys, like, I don't know if I could have followed that blood trail very well, but I'm more than ecstatic that you guys both came over and helped me track this deer.
Eddie.
Thank you. Thank you. Luck. We didn't get the handshake on camera, but we'll do it, right?
Get back there for pictures now too.
We gotta. Here.
Oh, we gotta see
let
that.
Me set this up a little better for some pictures. We gotta get the weeds out of the way.
So I thought
Just like I said.
I thought I hit him here.
Slightly over halfway up, hit the
So
opposite side shoulder.
I'm just a little bit.
You're getting blood all over the rack. Roll him back down, man.
We rolled around here for a bit, boys.
All right, guys. So here's this deer, ended up in the shop, and out of the woods. And I just got to say one more time, thank you to my brother Dan and AJ, both brothers, both of them. I had no confidence to find this deer because I'm used to shooting a muzzy, and when I went and retrieved my arrow, it did not look like the expandable broadhead expanded, and it looked like it went in about this far, and there was no blood on the rest of the arrow, and all I could think of is it didn't expand because those blades were right back up real tight, and I was crazy disappointed. And those guys came over, and so both my brothers have been shooting expandables for a while. They said, you know, you probably went in and hit this opposite shoulder, and then the arrow popped out, and when it popped out, it pulled the blades back. And I still didn't believe them. I was negative, but they were exactly right. I went in high on this side, within 2 inches of where I thought I hit, and it went in high, and it probably hit somewhere right in here on this side and stopped. And then as he took off running, the arrow popped out. But when we gutted it out, I did find a hole in at least one lung. But this deer ran, you know, I'm gonna say 200 yards or more. I mean, maybe I can look it up on a map, but it ran a ways, and I really needed those guys to help me find that blood trail, and they came through in the clutch again. I can't say how grateful I am to have brothers like that. So, but this is another trophy for me. I mean, this is another really nice deer right on my own property. Nothing that I really do special around here other than put some food plots in and keep some trails clean and whatnot. So, I mean, this is a trophy buck. So, you know what? I'm sorry I didn't get it on video, the shot, but it just happened so quick that it just turned out the way that it did. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Send me some comments in the bottom if you got any questions or comments. I'd like to hear from you. So, appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.